Listener, I have nothing else to say other than I'm very sorry. It's been almost a month since my last episode. I did say that I was going to do more episodes, and here it is. So I wasn't lying. However, I was not as quick with coming up with new episodes as I definitely should have been. And for that, I'm sorry, but you want to know what? I have decided there's so much going on in my life right now, and I've decided to not be beholden to the constraints that I've set upon myself for this podcast, right? So here, when starting out the podcast from the very beginning, they were like weekly episodes. And I quickly realized that I could not sustain a weekly format because I was working 2, sometimes 3 jobs at a time and a full-time student. There's no time in the day. There just simply isn't any time in the day. And then I decided to shift gears. I was like, you know what, we're going to do pre-recorded episodes. I'm going to record the season, boom, and drop them every week. And that, for the most part, it worked. Then it sort of changed to kind of like a pre-recorded head start for like maybe like 5 episodes pre-recorded, and then kind of getting a nice cadence so things could be kind of more relevant. And that was fine too. And that's kind of what I tried to do this time around. However, I don't know. This season has been so wonky, so inconsistent, and I'm so sorry. So welcome back to Passive Aggression, Season 7, Volume 7. I'm your host, Dominic, of course. And I want to say, back to the constraints thing, this idea that they have to be weekly episodes, it stresses me out. Now, I stress myself out all the time in a lot of things. And I set constraints for myself all the time. And I don't know what that's about. And that this has happened all my life. Listener, I didn't have a full alcoholic beverage until I turned 21. No one else listening to this can say that. No one else listening to this episode can say that. And if you can, great. And if you're younger than 21, you better be able to say that. Or else. Uh-oh. Whoops, right? You're in trouble. So that's one constraint already. I was just like, well, I can't. I mean, of course, growing up in a Hispanic household, you have a little bit, you have some sips. You're like, oh, let me try it. You know, my parents used to do like the, here's a pinky, like you can put your pinky in it. And I was like, oh, this is disgusting. And there was also one time I remember so vividly. We were in our New York apartment, and my dad was outside like on the stairs. He would go on the stairs to write music and stuff like that. So he'd be gone for hours at a time, but he's just right outside by the staircase. And if you want to hear the music that he was writing, you can check out Made in New York, Top Notch, a Made in New York story, my documentary, shameless plug, on YouTube right now. You can check it out. We're working on some more documentaries, a lot more documentaries actually, and things are coming, but it's taking some time because I need to work to survive. So, anyways, back to what I was saying. My dad was writing outside, and so the door was cracked a little bit open, so. Anyways, it was late at night, and I was really thirsty, and I didn't want any water. So I was like, oh, man, I want something to drink. So I went into the fridge, and there wasn't any juice or anything like that. We had iced tea before, but the iced tea was gone. I was like, man, the iced tea's gone. There's just milk and water, and I don't want any of that. I checked the freezer, and there was a cup. And it was just a regular cup, and it looked like iced tea. It looked like the iced tea that was no longer in the fridge. It was now in a cup that someone reserved for themselves and put it in the freezer so it could be nice and chilled. Well, I grabbed the cup, and I did the biggest gulp of my life for the cup. And listener, it was straight alcohol. It was disgusting. I don't even know what it was. Maybe it was mixed with iced tea. To this day, I don't know what it was. I spit it out immediately. I was disgusted. I put the cup back. I didn't talk to anyone about it, so I don't know what happened with that cup. I did obviously clean after myself, but that was disgusting. And I obviously didn't finish drink. I mean, I took, like, as soon as it entered my mouth, like, it was burning, and I knew this isn't right. And so I spit it out immediately. So I don't think I swallowed any of it. Anyways, so that's one story. But, I didn't fully have, like, an alcoholic beverage, a full drink to myself and not even a shot, until I turned 21. Because that's what the law says, all right? So, and that's a constraint that I put upon myself. Everyone else was, I mean, come on. Everyone else was drinking. They all did it. I went to school, they were all, ever since elementary school, people were talking about getting drunk. They were in elementary school. I was playing with my Legos. What do you mean you're getting drunk? I need to build my Lego set when I get home. What are you talking about? So that's something. Another thing, I didn't really go to house parties. I went to some parties, birthday parties, right? Get-togethers. But in my adult age, in college, I didn't go to a single, like, college, like, house party. When you're thinking of, like, house party, I've never experienced that. And it would be an overwhelming thing for me. I went to one. I went to one party that was a housewarming party disguised as a house. No, it was a house party disguised as a housewarming party. So I had a coworker. I was working at a coffee shop. I had a coworker who said, "Hey, we just got a new home, and I would love to, like, host you guys. You guys can come, and we have a party." I was like, "Oh my God, this is great." Well, the coworker's here. I always ask, "Who's coming?" "Oh, everyone here." "Okay, I need to know who's showing up." I go to this thing, and it was fine. There were some extra people, some other faces. Oh, okay, that's fine. And then, listener, about 20 minutes in, this group of these guys, just a wave of testosterone, and half of them were wearing t-shirts. The other half were obviously shirtless. And I was like, oh, this isn't for me. I'm not supposed to be here. And I left. So that was the one kind of party situation that I had. And I left because of me. I was like, I'm not supposed to be here. It's a sensory overload for me. I don't know what's going on. I don't even know half of the people here. And I don't like that. I don't like meeting new people. I don't. And you know what? For some reason, people like meeting me. Hey, I probably mentioned this on the podcast. There was only one person in person that I've ever met, that I ever, like, introduced myself to first. There's only one person that I can think of. That in person. This isn't like via text or Instagram, Online, you have a lot of courage. Web courage. I call it web courage. You have a lot of web courage. And sure, I also have web courage. I can say things to whoever I want online that I would never say to their face, probably. Most likely. Because I'm not a confrontational person. And also, I don't like to make myself look crazy on purpose. So I won't, like, it needs to be a controlled environment, okay? So I need to control what I say if it's via text or stuff. I love that I can control the narrative. But if it's in person, my mind and my mouth, they move in different speeds all the time. And so there's only one person that I've ever really introduced myself to, and that was actually friends of the show, Bree. Shout out, went to her wedding. That was a great time. And I only did that because she was new to the class, and the teacher was like, "You're going to sit next to Dominic. You can sit right there." There was an open seat. You sit right there. She sat there, and I was like, "Hi, I'm Dominic. We're best friends now." Just like a, and I was fine with it because I was pre-introduced. I was like, "Oh, hey, I'm Dominic. We're friends now. We're best friends now," I think I said. And I mean, and I still know her to this day. I actually spoke to her recently about Spider-Man. I said, "Hey, happy Spider-Man No Way Home, no, Spider-Man Brand New Day release week." Because she loves Spider-Man, and she was like, "Oh my god, I love the movie so much." And I was like, "Oh, that's great, fantastic, whatever." So yeah, and that's crazy. And speaking of, I'd only really, it's just crazy that I have that, I don't know, relationship with someone from so long ago. I'm not a person to really talk to anybody. And that's sad. And I keep like the relationships alive by like following, by being okay. Hey, we're friends on Facebook. We're friends on Instagram. So I keep that alive in my brain. But it's really hard to just kind of like, I don't know, care enough to ask people how they're doing, or just like keep a relationship alive. It's so hard to do, and I am the worst at it. And I'm so sorry, and I don't. That's one thing I really don't like about myself. I don't even. I again probably mentioned this on the show before. I don't keep up with family nearly as much as I should, and that's a problem. So I don't really. Oh, we're talking about constraints. So yeah, I like help. I put a lot of things on myself. So with this podcast, I was like, it has to be a weekly thing. You have to be consistent with it. And no, you don't. I'm entering a new phase in my life. Probably not, but I have this mindset. I think it's only for this podcast that I just can do whatever I want. Hey, it's not going to be weekly, and that's okay. Dominic, calm down. That's okay. So I'm sorry, because I understand wanting a consistent show, but it is what it is. And so what are some of the things that are really coming up? Well, I'm moving, and yay! No, that's not good news. I mean, that's good news, but I don't like moving at all. I absolutely hate it. I hate the idea of it. I hate the process of it. It's very stressful. It's so stressful. But I'm moving to Georgetown, which is a nice median. It's equidistant between here and Austin. Jordan lives in Austin. I live in Temple. We'll meet each other halfway. We'll live together in Georgetown. So that's great. But I did not get an Austin job. Now the goal, I think, is to get an Austin job. Well, it is right now. I applied to several places, and I've gotten offers. It's not like, however, I've gotten fewer offers than I've applied to. You know what I mean? Like, and there's just the applications that are just like gone in the wind, and they've just disappeared. And I'll tell you what, I know what's going on. Listener, here's what's going on. So I recently got an offer from another Austin location, right? And I didn't end up taking the offer because I would be making less than what I'm making now. And I don't care enough about Austin to just want to live there by any means necessary. That's no. I am fortunate. I have the luxury of being able to take my time. So, and I really appreciate that. It's not dire. It's not, so it's fine. And so because of that, I'm being very picky. And I've completely let go of any New York ideas because I realized that you need a minimum of like $10,000 to just move there and just set yourself up for success. And I do not have that just lying around. So that's on pause. And I'm hoping by the end of next year, we'll be in a better place to be like, Okay. Do we want to? Right? So that's the goal for next year. Looking forward to that. Anyways, these jobs are just, it's insane. It's absolutely insane. I haven't accepted an Austin opportunity. But here's what's going on with that. The job that did offer me something, it was a job that I applied to 3-4 months ago. And it was radio silence, right? And I realized that one of my current coworkers had a connection in that job. And I was like, can you give me like an email to anyone? And she was like, oh, I can give you an email to the head of that department. I was like, great, please do. So she did. And she didn't give like a previous recommendation or anything for me. It wasn't like, hey, let me put in a good word. Of course, I had her provide a reference for me after the fact, after the interview. But so it was radio silence, right? I email these people and I'm like, hey, I sent in an application. I just wanted to check on the status of that. And the person was like, oh, we'd love to set up an interview with you. Sure. When can you meet? So we spoke. A week later, a week later, I was offered the job. I'm like, I know. It's not a surprise. It wasn't I don't know. I know that you're going to offer me the job. Okay? So what was the issue? Why was the application ignored for 3 months and then fast-tracked as soon as you met me? You know what I mean? That's what's going on. It's not that my qualifications are not good. Listener, you got to humble yourself. I probably mentioned this in last episode too. I know I need to humble myself, and I do. But also, you got to know who you are. I know who I am. I know what I offer, okay? And I know what I'm worth. And so I know, like, when I applied to a job, rarely is it like a long shot. I'm like, I don't know if this is gonna work. Every job that I apply for, I'm like, yeah. Except for the ones that are like, you need 5+ years experience doing this one specific thing, right? So I'm like, what's going on? And I don't know what it is. I think it might be the AI, right? There's a wall, there's a screening probably that's it. My application, I don't have enough buzzwords in there. I don't know what's going on, but I know that if I get the interview, if you talk to me, the thing is I'm just not getting the interview. Interview me. Interview me. And you'll be very grateful that you did. Unless you live in New York, and apparently it doesn't matter. Because maybe you don't want to help with the relocation costs, which is perfectly fine. I probably would have asked if I was offered the job, sure, and I think they know that too. So I can't really complain. The job that I spoke to in New York recently that I was really confident about. She was at the beginning of the interview. She was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought that you were already living in New York." And I was like, "Oh no, I'm not relocating. I put it on the resume. I'm relocating." So I think that that's what didn't get me the gig, because I know for you know what I mean. And I think she also knew, like, this guy moving over here, this guy, we're waiting for this guy to move, settle down, and maybe he's going to ask for a relocation assistance. It's just not worth it. So yeah, I get that. I could also be way wrong, and that could all just be in my head, and I just wasn't good for the job, and that's why she didn't hire me, and that's fine. But I like to live in my own world of delusions, and that should be okay. So that's that's some stuff that's been going on, right? Another thing, which is today, I I don't know if you can see here. I spent the past hour and a half organizing the coins in my coin jars. So I have $86 worth of coins here, not counting, uh, not counting. Yeah, all the coins left in all the quarters left in this jar. Um, these quarters, listener, as I was counting the coins, I was like, you know what? Let me just try to see if I can get a quarter from every state. Let's just try. And I made it very close. I am missing four. I'm missing four states already. And I had a bunch of duplicates, so I was like, I just try to make sure that I got like the best looking out of the duplicates. But I'm just missing four states. I'm missing Idaho, Wisconsin, New Mexico, and what's the other one? One moment. I wrote it down. Kansas. So I'm missing those four. So if anyone over there and anyone listening has one of those coins, you can let me know. Send it my way. I'll trade you. Anyways, so yeah, that was just a fun little thing I wanted to do. It was nice to kind of just shut my brain off and count these coins, and listen to movie news. I've been listening, that kind of. It was very fun. I had a great time doing this, and I also have a bunch of these other coins in this jar. These are my like random coins. I have pretty big, very big $50 coins and $1 coins. And I'm going to take them to a coin shop and see if they're worth anything, because these coins I've had for over 10 years. That have lived with me. I've carried them, around everywhere I go, for the past 10 years, and so if not longer, and who knows, maybe they're worth something, and that would be nice because student loans, you know what I mean? So that's what's been going on. And I wanted to talk today. I'm so sorry that I wanted to talk today about something very specific. But I think I'm going to have to save that for another episode. I'll tell you about it. Little teaser. I went to Florida. Jordan and I went to Florida this summer. And we had a very interesting time. It was a very interesting time, and that's pretty much all that I can say. And yeah, it involves timeshares. Listener, timeshares. What? You know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about? Okay, so that's coming next episode. We'll talk about that next episode. So I have here actually, I think, a couple things that bothered me though. So we can just end the episode with this. I have a wall in my second bathroom, the shower wall. This was the bathroom that Dominic and Ayana used when they were living here for a couple months. And as they moved out, Dominic told me, "Oh yeah, the walls like caved in a little bit." I was like, "What?" It's like, "Yeah, there's like I don't know what happened. It just kind of like caved in. I don't know what happened to that wall. It's not like but there's like a dent in the wall, right? So I'm worried about. Okay, it's a moist environment, mold. What are you talking? Listener, this was 2 years ago. 2 years ago. At this point, right? A year and a half? I don't know. Yeah, they left me here to die in 2024. So, what's that? No, 2025. When was I left here to die? I don't know. I kind of buried it in the back of my mind. But anyways, no, it was like 2 years ago. Anyways, these I told maintenance right away. I was like, hey, there's a hole in my shower wall. They're like, oh yeah, we'll get someone right there. Okay, they never did. Sure. And then I have my lease renewal like walkthrough, where the landlord is walking through my apartment and like checking everything. We get to the bathroom and I'm like, oh yeah, that's the shower wall that I put in a request for. You guys haven't gone up here yet. She's like, oh, I'll make sure to write it down. I'll expedite it. I'm like, okay, great, fantastic. I mean, it's my shower wall, but it's also your shower wall. You know what I mean? It's our shower wall. Fix it. And it took some time. Then we cut to this year. I still like it was like a year, but before any of that was like addressed, and I was sending a request every month. So then I had a then they finally showed up, right? They finally showed up, I think, in March, to look at it. He said, we'll get someone, and I was there. I was like, hey, we'll get someone working on it as soon as possible. It's like, great. A month goes by, no one's come, so I send another thing. Someone shows up. Oh yeah, okay, so we're gonna start working on it next week if that's cool with you. It's like, that's fine. That is fine with me, just like it was fine with me 2 years ago. The next week arrives, no one comes, of course, so I send in another request. Falls on deaf ears. I send an email, falls on deaf ears. I see one of the guys, one of the maintenance guys in the neighborhood. I'm like, hey, do you remember anything about like the shower walls? Oh yeah, we're gonna get someone working on that as soon as possible. It's like, okay, I mean, it's just been a long time, so I'm just, can we set a date? Yeah, no, we'll do it. I'll be there next week. He does show up. And he starts the process. And then, someone else starts the process. And then I see that one guy again. No, wait. No, this is the good part. Before someone starts the process, I see the other guy again because he still didn't show up. And I was like, are you coming to the unit? And between then and at that point, I told my landlords that I wasn't going to renew my lease. And so I find the guy and I'm like, are you coming or not? He was like, oh, I thought you didn't want me to, I thought you weren't going to renew your lease because you were sad that, I thought I upset you that I didn't get there in time. What are you talking about? He's like 70 something years old. Sir, come and fix the wall, please. Fix the wall. Build the wall. You know what I mean? Fix it. And he did. And we're fine. Now, they fixed it. They said they were going to paint over it. Of course, they haven't painted over it. And you know what? I don't care anymore. I'm leaving soon. I just wanted there to not be a mold issue that was going to come haunt me when I left. So there's that. That's something that really bothered me, that I've been dealing with. This freaking landlords. Anyways, I have a list here. Oh, Panera Bread. Okay, well, so I went to Panera Bread and I put in a DoorDash order for something that Jordan wanted, and we both went. And I walk up to her and she says, last name? And I say, Gonzalez. She's looking around. What was the last name again? Gonzalez. Could it be under any other last name? Gonzalez. No, I mean, no. It's the right, I pull up the page, right? And I show it to her. And I say, there, see? Gonzalez. And she said, oh, that's Dominic. Correct. So here you go. So she hands me the bag. Oh, so that's Dominic. Like, I'm an idiot. And Jordan was really upset about this. And I was in shock. I was like, what just happened? What did we just do, all three of us together? You asked me for my last name. I gave you my last name. I show you a thing that has my first name and my last name, and you practically throw a bag in my face like I'm the idiot by not giving you my first name when you asked for my last name. The Panera bags, it says G Dominic. Dominic G. So, ma'am, how do you not know at your own place of work that these printed tickets include the first name and not the last name? First name, last initial, and not the last name, first initial. How do you not know that? Because now you're giving me an attitude like I just wasted 5 of our minutes together. So that was a little bit annoying. That was very annoying. But I didn't, I was fine in the moment. I was very cool, calm, collected. Again, because I don't like confrontation, listener. Jordan was very upset. Yeah, rightfully so. She's the, yeah. She's the one that'll get upset at someone. Which is great, and I appreciate that. That's fantastic. Okay, so let's see what else we have here. I have getting a receipt at the counter. Hey, when I am filling up my gas and it says ticket printed inside, like go inside to retrieve your ticket, your receipt, I never will. So that every time I see that, it bothers me. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm just not going. There's that. A lady cursed me out. Me and Jordan out. We were going to half-priced books, and I was leaving one aisle of the parking lot and moving to the next one. And as I was moving, there was a lady walking. So you kind of slow down for the lady walk. This old lady walking, and there's this car. You know what? I just realized something. Okay. Hold on. Okay, I just realized something that's blowing my mind. So, here's how the situation played out. I'm going to the next aisle, so I'm driving to the next aisle, and there's a lady walking to the half-price books. So she's walking, and so my car's approaching her, but obviously I'm not going to ram her over. So I'm slowing down and waiting for her to finish so I can finish my turn. And a car is coming towards me, and he honks. So it's the three of us. It's this car coming my way. I'm turning out of the aisle, and the lady's walking. The lady's in the middle of the two cars. And he honks, and she looks at me, and she's like, "A-hole!" And she just starts cursing, saying all this awful words. And I'm like, what is going on? What's happening? And what I just realized is I wonder, because I was like, why is she mad at me? What did I do? What if she thought that I honked at her? And this random guy's the issue that made us both mad at each other, lady. This random guy who honked at me, I don't know why he honked at me. Maybe I thought he honked at me because he thought I was going to hit the old lady, but I definitely saw the old lady, so I don't know what was going on. The old lady would have been fine if he just didn't do anything. She was going to keep walking. She was almost she didn't even see me. She was fine. She was completely safe and fine, and everything would have been okay. But this guy honked. She turns to me and yells, and I think she thought that I was honking at her for being too slow. Whoa! I guess we'll never know. Right? We'll never know. But I think that's what happened. Well, so I stayed. We finally got our parking spot, and I told Jordan, I was like, I'm not comfortable to go inside just yet. Because I don't, and Jordan was like, let's go. I wish that she'll yell at us. I was like, yeah, I think I actually want to just sit here in silence for a little bit and just let things cool down. I just want to just let her get inside. Maybe she gets her book. Maybe she comes out. So we stayed in my car for about 10 minutes before we went inside. We didn't see the old lady, which was great. But yeah, I was very overwhelmed and very anxious about that. And I thought everyone was looking at me in the parking lot because this old lady is cursing at me. And everyone probably thought this guy's an awful driver. And Jordan already thinks that I'm not a great driver. And that's just like, oh my God, what's going on? So that's something that bothered me. Here, let's see what else we have. Asking for my account number and then asking for my phone number. I was talking to my electric company. I call them, and I had a question about my account. And this lady was like, "Can you give me your account number, please?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, okay, 1 second." So I was looking for my account number. And she's like, "We could also do a phone number." Then do a phone number. Hey, always go phone number first. You want to know why? Because I know my phone number. Everyone knows their phone number right away. Nobody knows the 45-digit account number that's in the email sometimes. I'm not going to... What are we doing here? Why are we wasting each other's time? Just, if we can go phone number, let's go phone number 100% of the time immediately. So that's another thing that bothered me. I like the urinal at Target. I like the urinal at Target, which has a Target in it, and it's not just at Target. It was also at HEB. Now, listener, women and men. So, guys, when we go to a urinal, there are sometimes, there's nothing. It's nothing there. But sometimes there's a little target where you're supposed to, I guess, point your pee at, and it's just a fun little game that you can play while you're waiting to finish peeing. And now this target, I think, is also used to be the perfect spot to where you don't get any splashback. Because sometimes if you go to it's a little too much information, but sometimes you go to a wrong angle and it just like you get some splashback, and that's not great. But sometimes there's a Target, and I was in Target, and I was like, oh look, there's a Target, and that was great. Synchronicity, is that the word? I just really like that situation. And it was also at HEB, and that was great. And I had a great time peeing in the Target. I have great aim, listener. That's no issue. So I also wanted to say, this is a PSA to ladies out there, and also guys, if you have... well, guys, you know what you're doing, and the ladies, I just need you to also know what the guys are doing. Your husbands and your boyfriends are not washing their hands when they leave the restroom. And I'm just going to let you know now, I probably have mentioned it before on the podcast, but I just wanted to share that again. They're not washing their hands. And the amount of men that I see go to the restroom and pee right next to me and just walk right out the door, you would be astonished. You would be astonished and disgusted. And I am. Every time I'm like, there's no way that I can pee and just feel like I'm fine. And I think I understand the logic. It's like, well, my body's clean. This arguably is the cleanest part of my body because it's not being exposed to the outside world. And it's within like 5 layers. I got my pants, my underwear, and then there it is, right? So arguably, it's the cleanest part of your body where there's no contact from the outside world or any possible germs that your arm or your hand already has. So you probably don't want to already touch any part of your body with your hands that are already dirty because you've already touched so many things and interacted with so many things. So in that respect, I do understand that logic. However, I can't, for the life of me, pee and then just not wash my hands. And I think that's just a respect thing. I think because when you're interacting with people and you shake someone's hand, maybe, or give someone a high five or an embrace, I think just out of respect to that other person, maybe they don't have to worry about if your hand has been anywhere that it wouldn't be normally. You know what I mean? Like, I just think that, like, your private area, that's just, you don't touch that and then just handshake someone. You know, I don't know. I have to sneeze. I'm sorry about that. I sneeze a lot in rapid progression like that, and I don't know where that's from. Well, I know it's from my mom. She does that too. I don't know why that is. Anyways, we'll end it right there. Okay. Everyone wash your hands and count your coins. Oh, here's Lonnie Girl. Count your coins and in your coin jar and oh, hi girl. Oh, okay. So we're gonna. Do you have anything that you'd like to say, Lonnie Girl? Lonnie Girl, associate producer of the show. Got it. So we'll be back next week, in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I don't know. We'll be back at some point. There she is. Look, so majestic, right? Yeah. Until next time. Bye. Oh, like, comment, subscribe. You know, do all the stuff, the rate and review and all that stuff. Okay. See you later.